Picture this for a moment. You're standing across from a woman who instantly commands attention. Not loud, not flashy. She's composed, controlled, confident in a quiet way. She listens, she nods, she smiles politely, but something feels off. You can sense it. She's there physically, but mentally she's already halfway gone. One foot in the conversation, one foot ready to leave. And this is the exact moment where most men lose everything. They feel it slipping, so they rush. They talk more. They explain themselves. They try to be charming, funny, impressive. They think attraction is created by adding something. But what if attraction is created by removing everything? Stay with me, because this is where the dynamic flips. The instinctive mistake. When men feel a woman pulling away, panic takes over. They believe, I need to say the right thing. I need to stand out. I need to prove I'm different. So they lean forward emotionally. Compliments appear. Questions stack up. Energy rises, but not in a good way. And without realizing it, they hand over all the power. Because attraction doesn't grow where there's pressure. It grows where there's tension. And tension cannot exist when someone is trying to be chosen. Here's the paradox most men never understand. You don't need the perfect look. You don't need money, status, or an Instagram lifestyle. You don't even need clever lines. In fact, the more you try, the weaker the impact becomes. Because attraction is not built through performance. It's built through presence. And presence is rare. The moment that changes everything. Now imagine this instead. You don't rush. You don't fill the silence. You don't try to impress. You stand there, calm, grounded, aware. You observe her. The controlled smile. The polite posture. The social mask she wears automatically. And then you speak. Just 2 words. No emotion. No explanation. No follow-up. You say, I know. That's it. And suddenly, something shifts. Why those 2 words hit different. Here's the part most people miss. I know doesn't mean anything specific. And that's exactly why it works. Because her mind rushes to complete the sentence. I know you're bored. I know you're guarded. I know you're pretending. I know there's more behind that smile. You didn't accuse her. You didn't explain yourself. You didn't chase clarity. You created a vacuum. And the human brain cannot tolerate empty space, especially when emotion is involved. This is no longer a conversation. At that moment, something changes internally for her. This isn't small talk anymore. This isn't flirting. This isn't social noise. It's confrontation. Subtle, quiet, psychological. And here's the truth most men don't like to hear. Compliments don't create desire. Confrontation does. Not aggressive confrontation. Not disrespect, but recognition. Because being admired feels nice. Being seen feels intense. Why most men never experience this response. Most men interact with women from a place of need. They want approval. They want validation. They want to be liked. So every word they say asks a hidden question. Am I enough? And women feel that immediately. Need collapses polarity. Seeking permission destroys tension. The moment you want to be chosen, you lose leverage. The rare man plays a different game. The rare man doesn't rush outcomes. He doesn't need to win the interaction. He's already centered. So when he speaks, it's not to get something. It's to state what already is. That's why I know lands differently. It doesn't reach for her. It stands still. And stillness is powerful. What actually happens in her mind? Here's the internal reaction most men never see. When a woman hears those words, calmly, slowly, without explanation, her mind speeds up. Questions appear. What does he know? Is he talking about me? Did he notice something I hide? She starts projecting. And projection is emotional engagement. You didn't pull her closer physically. You pulled her inwards psychologically. This tells something deep. Every woman carries contradictions. Strength mixed with doubt. Confidence mixed with fear. Social roles masking personal truth. Most men interact only with the surface. A man who seems to see beyond it feels dangerous. Not threatening, revealing. Like standing in front of a mirror, without armor. Uncomfortable. Unsettling. Irresistible. The most important part, don't miss this. This only works if it's real. If you say, I know hopping for a reaction, it fails. If you wait for her response, it collapses. If you use it as a trick, she feels it. Because the power isn't in the words. It's in the state. You must already be whole without her response. No expectation. No agenda. No hunger. Just awareness. What happens next is the real magic. Something interesting happens after that moment. She often speaks. She fills the silence you didn't. She explains. She opens. She reveals. Not because you asked, but because stillness invites truth, and truth offered freely creates real connection. Why this feels so different to her. Women live in a world of appearances. Most interactions are scripted, predictable, safe. A man who doesn't follow the script breaks reality for a moment, and that break creates emotional charge. You didn't seduce her. You disrupted her expectations. And disruption is the birthplace of attraction. Those two words aren't magic. They are a reflection of something deeper. A man who doesn't need to take. A man who doesn't need to prove. A man who already knows who he is. When you operate from that place, attraction becomes a byproduct, not a goal. And once you understand this, you'll never approach women the same way again. In the next video, I'll show you how to embody this state naturally. So it's not something you say, but something you are. If you're tired of surface-level advice and fake techniques, subscribe. We don't teach lines here. We explore presence, tension, and the psychology that actually moves people. See you in the next one.